Mars Blackmon here again. You know, nobody in the world can cover my main man, Michael Jordan. Nobody, nobody, nobody. Nobody. I'm telling you, it's impossible. 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 Impossible.
However, it's easy to cover Mars Blackmon.
YouTube, what's happening? We back again. You know, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus, but we back. Got a new spot that I'm using right now because my normal location, we doing some construction in the house, had to get some duct work done. That definitely contributed a little bit to the hiatus, you know, and then some of it was, I didn't think a lot of that was strength worthy, full strength worthy. So kind of had to make some executive decisions, and Black Cement 3, OG, classic, you know, I always knew this was the one we was coming back on, passed on the olives, passed on the Black Toe 14s, a couple of other joints. But, you know, we back at it, and we really, in the beginning, this is like that pre-2025, because y'all already know 2025, they coming with that fire. I'm not spending $5,000 on shoes. I can tell you that right now. It's just too much that's coming out. But we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves. We're gonna take a look at these Black Cement OG3s. Real quick, it's been a year since I've been doing the channel, so really appreciate everybody, you know, that's subscribed, that's been, you know, consistent with checking in, and you feel me, just interacting with the channel. Really appreciate that. So, you know, we're gonna try to do this for another 12 months, you feel me, and just keep it consistent. So with that being said, let's get right into it real quick. Seal is. All right. Now first, just a flat box there, no gloss, no embossing, no indentation on there, just your flat Jumpman. You got your Jordan 3, 13. You zoom in on that. You got the elephant print. And then your normal copyright stuff on the bottom. Now, when did these drop? It's at 88. It's 2 years old in 88, so I can't really speak to what it was like when these dropped in real time. This is one of those shoes that I just understand that they classic. I understand they kind of like the caviar of the Jordans. You feel me? This is a certified classic. Nothing to really talk about. First time owning these, so really don't know what to expect. One of the few opportunities that I get to unbox something like that. Now, this was the shock drop, obviously. And so I think they actually officially release this coming Saturday. All right, so you get a Jordan tag on the inside here. Let's see what we got. Okay, talks about high performance leather is used throughout. Soft comfort with better durability. Right there, you got your sock liner. Anatomically correct, removable Durapontex sock liner provides a supportive, comfortable lining for the foot while minimizing heat buildup. Visible heel air sole unit. 4-foot air sole unit. Foot frame in, so it's hard to read this. And then you got your outsole. We'll come back to that. Let's get to these shoes. Now, I'm concerned about the shape when I look at the old original 88s. Okay, well, hold on. We're going to pause on that. Not sure if it's coming through on the camera, but as you can see there, got minimal creasage. I was worried that you was going to have a lot of creasing in the toe box area. And on mine, at least on this left shoe, it looked like you got smooth leather there in the toe box. And I'd be curious to see if it eventually starts looking like this in the toe box. But for right now, you good there. Got your Nike Air on the insole there. I don't know what's up with the iPhone camera because it looks blurry going through the viewfinder. So we're going to have to fix that. Let's take a look at the right shoe. Again, I don't know if that's translating through, but you got minimal wrinkling and creasing right out of the box. So much different from your fire red 4s that came out a few years ago. You got a little bit up in here, but more than likely I'm gonna be wearing these with jeans. You got your Nike Air on the back. Elephant print looks a little off, but that could just be, haven't seen these in a while. But at first glance, they looking full strength worthy. At first glance. See if you got anything else on the inside. See nothing there, no extra laces, none of that. All right. Let's just set these here. Now, one thing on the shape. It looked like in the images, if you look on the sneakers app, that you have, like if you set it flat, you can't really tell right here, but if you look at it on the sneakers app, it looks like the toe like kind of curls up. So I was worried about that the shape on the shoe when you come from here and then go down, that it wasn't really gonna look right. Because if you look at them in '88 when they was wearing them, it was like just a straight slope. It appears, as I'm looking at it through the viewfinder, that the shape on these are almost spot on. You just got a nice slanted line there. So I'm actually happy with the shape. Feels good, feels quality. Kind of reminds me of the reimagined Bred 4s. To me, the reimagined Bred 4s had a little bit of a softer leather. This feels a little more sturdy. Let's take the inserts out, see what kind of inserts you get in here. So you got the red, the black, Nike Air. Very thin. I usually use the custom arch supports in mine, so I won't be wearing them with those. You got your flimsy plastic tag. I know people are hit or miss on that. I tend to like the ones that come with the Air Maxes, but whatever. We ain't gonna really harp on that too much. I don't know what that was. All right, so you get your red insoles. Looks good. Color looks good. All right. So let's go ahead and get to it. Are these worth the full strength? I think they hitting you for what, 220? I think it's about 220. I think I was like 240 after taxes. At first glance, right out the box, I mean, you're looking at what I'm looking at. I'm gonna go on the limb and say yes. I think you gotta run these for 240 or 230, whatever they're gonna be after taxes for you. I think you can pull the trigger on that. So OG, it's a classic, Nike Air on the back. Nothing to really talk about because we don't know how long we're gonna be getting this type of treatment. Because if you was around in the early 2000s, you was getting these with the Jumpman on the back. And you know that it just ain't the same, even though you're not looking at this when you're wearing them, but you just know it's just not the same with the Jumpman on the back. So Nike Air, let's do you got some good bounce back action right there in the toe box. Now again, I don't know what that's gonna do as far as creasage or creasing when you wear it, but from what I can tell, you may not have to worry about that. So I'm gonna say the quality right now, it looks to be about 5 out of 5. I don't really see anything that I can ding this on. The color looks good. The shape looks good. I mean, everything is popping. The red is popping. The elephant print is popping. Again, back here on the elephant print, I feel like it was a little more dense on the originals, but you know, that could just, I could be misremembering that when I go back and look at the photos. I had to talk to one of my OG players that was around. He can probably speak to what the elephant print should look like and if this is spot on, but we're gonna go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, that Nike came correct. So quality, we'll get at 5 out of 5 from what I can tell. Let's give it another once over. I don't see any glue stains. Your leather feels quality. You got your Nike Air. Let's give it a once over. Little bit of wrinkling here, but I'm not really in here. This is probably the biggest blemish that I see on the shoe, but that's not enough for me to ding them on the quality. Price. Now let's talk about price. Resale. I don't have my tablet, unfortunately, but anything over 3, I think you're probably playing yourself because you're probably going to get a couple of restocks on these. Notification game should be strong. And with everything that's coming out in 25, unless this is just a grail for you, resale shouldn't really be in the equation. I can really only think of a couple of shoes that's coming out in the next 14 months where you probably going to have to pull the trigger if you continue to swing and miss, where you got to break down and pay the almighty full strength resale super tax. That's going to be your Columbia 11s. And I may be able to swing an early preview of that. One of my partners, he was able to get his hands on those. We're going to see if he can hit us with them and we can do an early review. So I'm going to work on that, see if I can get that for y'all. And then maybe your flu games, maybe your black and red ones. Again, a lot of this stuff is subjective. I know for me, even though this is caviar right here, these get the ultimate respect. For me, this isn't a resale shoe when you're talking about getting in the 300, 350, 400, 450. Again, I don't really know what they're going to be hitting you for on these, but my advice on full strength is always to try to wait on a restock. I got the Chicago ones on a restock and it was like 6 months later. So sometimes it's just good to be patient and, you might hit. So with that being said, yeah, go ahead and line your notify, turn your notify on the sneakers. This is one you're going to want. This is one you want to try to get. I don't think you want to sleep on this one. Again, nothing really to talk about. OG3. For a lot of people, they're probably going to tell you this is a top 5 Jordan of all time. For me, again, I came around a little bit later. So for me, the 8s, the 9s, the 10s, the 11s, that's when I was around. That's when I was really starting to really develop that love and that affinity for the shoes, right? But something like these, you got to give it the ultimate respect. Can't talk tonight. The ultimate respect. So it begins. This is kind of that alley-oop, that runway up into 2025. Y'all know, get your wallets ready. Go ahead and free up your, however you pay, debit card, credit card. Go ahead and get your credit limits up, or go ahead and free up space, however you're going to do it, because it's going to be expensive. Copper foam's coming out in a couple of weeks. You got your Kobe 9, the Christmases. You got the, the Blueberry 12. You got the Columbia 11s. You got a lot coming out just in the next 5 weeks. So before we wrap up, let's go back to this real quick. Also, solid rubber partial. Again, I don't know. Are y'all hooping in these? I mean, maybe this only matters if you're hooping in them. Again, I go custom insoles, but kind of interesting to see. I do wish Jordan would keep putting this type of literature in the shoes, kind of like they used to do the retro cards. That was a nice little, Easter egg to have. But Solid release. Nothing but good things to say. No glue stains, no wrinkles, no creases. This is a solid home run. So that'll do it for this episode of The Full Strength. Again, really appreciate y'all. If you've been subscribing, if you've been following, really appreciate that. Appreciate your patience. I know we've been on hiatus. We're going to try to ramp it up here soon. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.